Well, today I've been doing some cutting of some rock, and this here piece, this is a piece I found up on the Skokomish River, and it's a little dark, the green is. It may lighten up on the other side. We've got some of that Green Jasper from off the Skokomish River. Now the next piece I'm going to show you is a piece that came off of the Tahuya River. And it's very similar. And I've noticed with most of the jasper that's on both those rivers is very similar. This one here's a dark color also. And actually I cut a couple of jaspers here. This one I know that Marlena and I got this on the Tahuya River just recently. And it's got some beautiful color in there. Has a little bit of pitting. I think some of that can be worked around. But that's just beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And this one here could have come off the Skokomish or the Tahuya, I don't know. Because they are so similar. And that's just got beautiful color, and like I said, both rivers pretty much the same material. Now this here is a piece that I got up in Kamenga Canyon. And it was that wild looking rock that I found. I decided to keep, and when I cut it, it's got some stripes in there. It might have a fracture though, right there. I'm not sure. I think it is, but maybe I can cut it a different direction. And yep, there looks like to be another one on that side there. We have nothing else. I can tumble that, and that'll be a pretty neat looking rock, and that's probably what I'll do with it. This is some of that quartz with the green that we find on, well, you can find that on both rivers also. Mostly anywhere in the around the Olympic Mountains you'll find this. And yeah, that's beautiful. That'll turn out nicely. I'll probably slice this thing and probably tumble them and use them for wire wrapping. Now here's this here I found on the Tahuya River. It's got some of that red in there, but I noticed in the green there it had pitting, so I don't know if there's much you can do with it besides maybe use it for tumbling. But that's okay, it'll come out nice. Now over here, this is a piece of the blue jasper I got up off of Blewett Pass. And when you cut this stuff open, you can get these designs in there, and I think only this part up in here would actually be usable. Well, maybe that other part, I'm not sure. But it tumbles nice. I don't know if you can cab it because it does fracture easily. I can feel right down in there where it could fracture, but when you tumble it, it polishes really nice. So it makes good polished stones. And this is a piece of the green that I found right in that same area. They're almost side by side at the two places. And this polishes really nice. And I really like all of that in there. And you find big pieces of this. Now this is one of the agates I got just the other day over in Ellensburg, and I decided to cut it. and it almost geode. It's got some banding out here on the outer side, but the center there, it looked like it was almost going to turn into a geode. And I didn't think that one would do a whole lot, so I just cut it in half. Normally I would just polish them, put them in the rock tumbler and polished. And there was one other here. Oh, here it is. This one here I didn't think was going to have any blue to it, and it was gray, but it's got a neat design in there, which is alright. That'll tumble and be okay. And here is a piece. One day I had permission to go on some private property out there in Ellensburg, out in the valley. And this was a piece that I found out there. But I noticed it did have some fracturing right there. And not as deep as a blue as you'd like to have, but it does have some light in there. I still like the piece. And you know, when you find an agate this size out there, you get a little excited because you think, oh boy, you can have something really good. But it's been fractured, been out there in the weather. It gets hot there in the summer and real cold in the winter. And this here piece, I have not been up there in a long time, but this is some Green Jasper, or could even be quartz. It takes a super good polish, and I find it in veins, not much thicker than this. I found them maybe out to 2 inches, and it just makes some beautiful pieces. I've tumbled some of this and it's really nice. I'm probably going to do a trip up into there hopefully this year. If not, it might be next year. It's quite the hike to get into this. It's a little remote, and I'd prefer to have somebody with me when I go in there, because if something happens up in there, you're in trouble. But I figured I'd show this piece just because I really like it. So, well, that's what I've been doing here today, is cutting a little bit of this up, seeing what I got, and I will post a couple pictures of a couple of Ellensburg Blues that I had done up into jewelry. One is a snowflake Ellensburg Blue agate, and the other one is a faceted agates, because sometimes you can find blues that are good enough that you can have them faceted. And this one here, when I first started with it, it had really great color, but with blues, when they start cutting, they can lose some of the color, so it didn't come out the color that I would have really liked. But you know, that's life when you're dealing with blues. So, well, hope you enjoy.